Ohio's over here, right? Indiana, Ohio. You're like, I know, like, how long would it take to run to that hat? How long would it take to run to that hat? No idea. Yeah, you're in the top. Yeah, it's the top left of the how long would it take to run to the
You're just singing like
All right. I've got after 7 o'clock, we'll go ahead and get started. We'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is there in a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. All right, first on the list, we've got a cool student spotlight. Nemo.
All right. Thank you to Dr. Case and the board for helping me to welcome our incredible kids in front of you today. The people I'm going to introduce and the adults are part of our Spellbowl team at Morgan for this year. We just recently had a competition that they took part in. I initially thought I was going to give all of you a dry erase board and see if you could spell the words that they had to. I decided against that, but yeah, I have the 750 word spelling list that they study from, and you would be astonished at what is on here. It is very difficult. So the fact that we do so well each and every year is truly a credit to Mrs. Stoles for leading them and these kids for their hard work. So we're going to bring up our student spotlight. So when I call your name, if you could make a line facing all of these important people in front of you. So first up, Mrs. Stoles, you get to lead the way. She is our coach for both Spell Bowl and Math Bowl. Yep. Then we have Maya Bowl, London Holman, Alex Sidich, Cooper Stark. We have Claire Talbot, but she's sick. Did you get her sick? You didn't want her to have a spotlight?
No,
I know. So Claire is not with us. She's ill. But we do have Hank with us this evening. Lucia Waffle, come on down. Sam Wolf. And Lily Zacher. So as I shared, this group had a list of 750 words that they took several months practicing in preparation for the regional event. That event was hosted at Washington Township, and we competed in the red division. So kind of like sports classes, the red division is our schools that are around our enrollment. So it is a terrifying experience if you have not seen one, because you go up by yourself to a table and you're given a word that's incredibly difficult to spell, and they do write out the word. It's not said aloud, and then they wait for the proctor to grade that word. So it's not a team effort. It is definitely a solo effort once they are up in front of the group. This was a heated battle that we had in Washington. We had 3 teams that traded off first place over the course of 3 or 4 of the final rounds. So nobody knew who was going to win, lose, first, second, third. It was a battle. It was so close that the winning team, not an East Porter team, but we have to mention them, had 33 points. We had Washington Township, which we'll give them props this evening, had 32 points. I know, we didn't want to, but we are, Mrs. Stoltz.
Yeah.
And then we came in third that night with 31. So we have 33, 32, 31. So it was a battle. So it was a great competition to watch. What happens then are those scores get sent to the state, and we see in the state of Indiana where we rank. And this group in front of you is ranked 13th in the state of Indiana in the red division. So that's an awesome accomplishment. A couple other things to fill you in on. Sam Wolf, could you wave to the crew? Sam had a perfect round. Did not miss a word, which is huge. So if we could give him a round of applause. Lucia Waffle, can you wave at the crowd? Lucia had a near perfect, just missing one of the words. So we were all. I think if you were at the event, you could attest to this, that no matter whether they had a perfect or not a perfect, whether they had 8 words correct or 1, they were so excited for their teammates. The hugs, the high fives, it's okay, those words were hard, I couldn't spell them either. There was a lot of that going on. So this crew really did an awesome job representing Morgan. We could not be more proud of them. So board, any questions? Maybe not spelling. I think they might be spelled out, but any questions for our crew?
How did you decide to become a member of the Spellbowl team?
So last year I had friends, and so this year I wanted to try it out, and the year before that I did a spelling bee, and I got 4th place, and I was the last girl that was standing. So I thought that I wanted to try it.
Sure. Good, you did. Thank you.
Scoping out who could spell.
Yes, Mrs. Stolz had picked some people as she was going from classroom to classroom for sure. All right, any other questions from the board?
Oh, congratulations. Yeah, you
We've
did a
got
great
some
job.
certificates here
Okay,
for our champions here.
all right. When you receive your certificate to our Spellbowl team, you're gonna come stand over here by the wall and we're gonna get a picture of you with your certificates at that time. Could you grab your sisters? That would be awesome, thank you. Maya, go ahead and stand over here, we're gonna get your picture.
London, I can't read cursive, sorry.
I'm always like, I mean,
Alex, Stitch. Cooper. Good job, buddy.
700 words. Yeah, I don't even want to try this.
I don't either, it made me very happy I have spell check.
Wow.
See ya.
That's yours to keep, Ethan.
Practice.
Man, these were in order. Awesome. Sam, good job, Sam.
We'll take you anytime.
And Lily. Right? Good job.
Hi, brother. Harley and
all called the same time, so. Thank you, Leah. There we go. Okay.
Way better. Thank you.
Thank you. Great job, kids. We're gonna take just a quick pause because I know these kids want to get home and probably study some more spelling words, right? So you're more than welcome to stay, but we'll just take a quick minute. If you want to skip out, that's perfectly fine. Thank you for coming. Great job, kids.
Thank you.
No, I mean, the other folks were talking about the positive decisions.
All right.
Good seats up in front.
We'll continue on.
If I snore, you might not hear me back.
Now we're gonna be listening for it.
All right, so now's the time we meet for public input on any of the agenda items. And I'm gonna ask if this was intentional or an accident. That Mrs. Lesko, you signed
Well, I'd
the.
rather be more people. But no, I do have something to say.
Oh,
The mic.
She tried to ban me
Yeah,
for
it's not allowed in our lunch.
not 30 minutes,
Yeah.
Okay,
Just remind you that.
you have 2 minutes.
3 minutes.
Oh, I'm down under a minute.
Okay.
Okay, I did talk to Ethan and Sophia, so this is part of them too. So, first to Dr. Case. I said this to you before, but I want to thank you for doing everything you and the board could do to keep our schools open during COVID. Because of that, everyone's hard work on the board, Ethan was able to have a senior year. He was able to play basketball, have prom and graduation. And as a mom, that meant everything to me. And so I wanted to thank you for that. Thank you for supporting Sophia. You found time to come see her play her senior night. You listened to her problems, her drama stuff, and helped her when she had issues. And when she first got accepted to Kelly, you were the first person she wanted to tell besides her dad. So thank you for everything you do daily for East Porter County Schools. I really appreciate it. And to my husband, Steve, thank you for 8 years of dedication that you have put into this position and being present the last 3 years. Most don't know the countless phone calls and emails you get, sometimes daily, and that you also have a full-time job outside of this. It's never easy, and sometimes it's really hard, but you kept going for the teachers and the students that you believe in. The many hours you have spent helping teachers, parents, and students has not gone unnoticed. You truly have wanted what was best for each and every one of them. And even if it wasn't what was best for our kids, you still put East Porter County first. Ethan, Sophia, and I are so proud of you. You are a leader and a role model that they strive to follow. As your wife, I love you, and I can't wait to have my Monday nights back. Thank you to everybody on the board for all your hard work.
Thank you. That's probably the most positive public comments I've heard in a long time, so thank you.
Now you get to run the
All right. Anyone else? Thank you. Okay, I'll move on to the consent agenda.
Mr. President, I'd like a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of items 2A, approval of the minutes, executive session, November the 11th, 2024, and November the 25th, 2024. Item 2B, approval of the minutes public session, November the 11th, 2024. Item 2C, financial matters payroll consisting of payroll dates of 11/15/2024, 11/29/2024, 12/6/2024. Item 2D, financial matters claims list, November the 12th, 2024, through and including December the 9th, 2024. And item 2E, approval of the personnel report dated today, December the 9th, 2024.
Thank you, Mr. McStern. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. DeSweet. All right, comments, questions from the board? Here none, I'll call the vote. Please raise your hand to approve the consent agenda. Any nays? No nays, motion passes 6-0.
Good evening.
Evening.
So in front of the board, we are asking for the approval of the Washington Township Middle High School security entry proposal. We know that it doesn't necessarily have a secure entry, so what we are looking at is creating a two-factor authorization in order to enter the building. And we're asking you to approve it as presented.
I hear a motion to approve.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Sweet. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Comments, questions from the board? All right, here none, I'll call the vote. Please raise your hand to approve the Washington Middle High secured entry proposal. Any nays? No nays. Motion passes 6-0.
Next in front of you, we are asking the board to approve the agreement to work with Adam McAlpine. He's an engineer to help put together the plan to construct the road up at Washington Township that would give us access to 325. He will be not just engineering, but also help us with the bid process to ensure that we get the best bids to construct that road.
Thank you. I hear a motion.
So moved, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Mr. McSparrow. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Martin. Comments, questions from the board?
What, like task do you have in front of you?
I can in 2 seconds.
The coordination with GE Marshall,
Yeah, the coordination with GE Marshall is because we're going to be tapping into their road.
right,
And part of it too is we are wanting to coordinate because they have not asphalted. So we would be looking at asphalting at the same time, kind of splitting that cost. Now, granted, GE Marshall would be one of the considerations when we go to bid. And we would anticipate their bid to be lower, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we're following the state requirements, being that the project will be more than the threshold for just asking for quotes.
I guess my only comment is in the proposal, I hope we're talking about a fairly straight road because the area to the south, which is still zoned industrial, if we ever had to sell it off to the school corporation, we could.
Yeah, the current plan is just to put it on the south end of, just south of the
Access.
bus parking lot. Yeah, and then tying into that drive from the parking lot.
And the county will understand that we have waste treatment, we have stormwater lines that run to a retention pond instead of creating the hole they did.
Haven't even started working on it, but yes,
I'm
we
just
will.
saying.
Yes,
Let's make sure that the engineers are actually know
yeah, because we
what
already
the
have some
possibilities are
retention
instead of
over there.
wiping out areas that we could do other things with.
Correct, and we've even talked about having the slope be so that it would be shed and not necessarily have to go into the retention. So he has some ideas on limiting that.
And is that, well, the cost is about what you thought it was gonna be for the engineering?
I wish I could say yes, but everything has come back higher, much higher than what we were anticipating on everything, like all of our utilities have dropped up 20%, but that in alignment, it's actually less than if we were to get like an architectural engineering team.
Have they given any indication of what the project itself might cost?
Marshall's put a, like just what they thought that it would cost. I do not remember that, but I will put that in my update.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions? Here none, I'll call the vote. Please raise your hand to approve the engineering agreement with McAlpine Consulting for design and development of the road at Washington Township. Any nays? No nays. Motion passes 6-0. All right.
Next in front of the board, we are asking the board to approve a potential preschool program. contingent on achieving the numbers that we're looking to get to ensure that we can try to run it. We've done some, actually, by we, I mean, Mrs. Schnick has done some surveying and getting some feedback from the community. She put the survey together, and Mrs. Nebel has been instrumental in working on trying to figure out how that would work as well. But we are looking for the board to approve us to move forward to see if we can gain enough interest to start our own preschool program here at Eastport.
So moved, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Sparrow. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. McFalls. Comments, questions from the board? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. Please raise your hand to approve the preschool contingent on getting enough interest in enrollment. Any nays? Motion passes 6-0.
Next in front of you, we are asking the board to approve the job description for an athletic trainer for the district. You know, we've been without one for several years, and we've tried having contracts with different providers, and they have not been able to follow through simply because it's so difficult. In doing this, the job description would be currently to have them teach a CPE class, and then helping with the athletic training at events after that, coordinating with the athletic directors to try to get it as equal as possible coverage throughout, and also helping assign others and recruit other athletic trainers. At this time, it's just for the position and the posting. I would bring to date, or I bring to the board at a later date, candidate and the actual proposal. All that time would be spent.
Thank you. I hear a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Bruker. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Bowles. Comments, questions from the board? All right, I'll call the vote. Please raise your hand to approve the job description posting of the position of athletic trainer. Any nays? All right, motion passes 6-0.
Next in front of you, we have the renewal of our property and casualty and our workman's comp using Henry Group. You will see that it is a 22.6% increase. Part of the increase has to do with our experience bond, but then the other part is we have had a significant increase in our property values. Just like everybody's assessed valuation is going up, so is the school building. And so therefore, it is going to cost us about $68,709 for our insurance renewal. We're asking the board to approve it. It is switching our workman's comp carrier.
All right, I hear a motion to approve.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. DeSuite. Second. Thank you, Mr. Bruker. Comments, questions from the board?
Are there corporations seeing this across the board, this increase?
Yeah, unfortunately, Astra has had a blanket 20% increase across the board. And it's just with the market and with the different hurricanes that have hit, insurance rates are just going through. I was talking with my son who works for Farm Bureau, and anybody with Farm Bureau is going to see a monster increase too. It's happening across the industry.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? All right, here none, I'll call the vote. Please raise your hand to approve the insurance renewal. Any nays? No nays, motion passes 6-0.
Next in front of you, we are asking the board to approve the tag stipends for the non-classroom certified staff. There are individuals such as our guidance counselors that do not qualify under the state's definition of teacher. However, they are still part of our teacher bargaining agreement. And then it also includes the principals, which we have traditionally done as well.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Mrs. Falls. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Booker. Comments, questions from the board? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. Please raise your hand to approve the tax stipends for the non-classroom certified staff. Any nays? All right, motion passes 6-0.
The next item on the agenda is just the approval of resolution 2413, the close of the 24 school year. It's traditional, again, simply as Mrs. Nieves is trying to close her books.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Is there a second?
I'll second. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mrs. McCall. Comments, questions from the board? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. Please raise your hand to approve resolution 2024-13 to close the 2024 year end. Any nays? All right, motion passes 6-0.
Next in front of you, we are asking for the approval of the upgrades at Morgan and House on the flooring. That would include this cafeteria and the adjoining and then this hallway. You can see there are 3 bids in front of you, or 3 quotes in front of you. And consolidated flooring was the individual that Mr. Kenworthy, and it's also part of the, thank you, Sourcewell. Sourcewell, which is pre-bid by the state. And it definitely came, because even though it was done that way, I had asked them to go get additional quotes, simply just to make sure we're doing our due diligence. That came in significantly lower. But you talk about the pricing of things, it's crazy.
When would they do this?
We are looking at them, I believe it's this summer.
I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve flooring upgrades at Morgan and House.
Thank you, Mr. McSpirit. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Booker. Any additional questions?
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that in their terms and what they will and won't do, they won't do a bunch of stuff, which is they don't pick up after themselves. We have to pick up after them. The quoted price is based upon placing the scraps and waste material in a central location to be removed by laborers supplied by others.
It was my understanding in talking with Mr. Kenworthy that they were still planning on taking care of that, was their traditional contract, but
There's several things like that in here, Dr. Case, that are, I mean, they've got a bunch of loopholes in here that in the contract, I think that, I mean, if they come and everything isn't perfect for them to get going right when they want to get going, we get charged immediately for the, it's one of the most, I don't know, that one caught my attention, so I then read due diligence, everything, and just seemed like it's pretty nitpicky. You know, I don't know, anybody else read it?
No, I agree with Bob. It's strange, you know, you'll see things like this, but not of this magnitude. The magnitude is huge. You know, unless specifically detailed in the proposal, the following items are excluded from our scope of work. And they list a page of items, 2 pages. Well, yeah, basically, and it's that, and site conditions that, so I just think we need to make sure that we don't end up having to spend a lot of money doing this other work before we accept this contract.
Is it possible to do it contingent on getting those items removed from the contract?
Well,
I can do that. And if they don't remove them, then we just cancel the contract.
I guess, yeah, you know, I never looked at the other ones closely. I'm like, Bob, this got my attention because it was so long.
Sure.
So this one, but I haven't looked at the other ones. You looked at the other 2 exceptions?
They're long. I mean, it seems to be like they've really given themselves a lot of room to be able to have change orders and jack the price up in the long run. So I
I'm
guess.
not sure how to address it.
Or the other part is, we can table it and we'll come back with a different one.
I guess that, I wasn't very comfortable when I read it. I thought I've never seen one that has this many.
My question was who was doing the surface preparation and leveling? I was thinking
They are,
they were,
yes.
but isn't that in the exclusions, am I wrong? Is that not?
Yeah, it is.
It's in the exclusions that they will not do surface preparation, including leveling, skim coating, or spackling.
Right, that's the exclusion.
So I was thinking,
But even in here, it talks about floor prep, resilient skim coating to ensure that it was the same thickness and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, it's on the scope of work, but it's also in their exclusions.
It's in there, it's in
So
both
that's-
places, that's what concerns me.
With all that discussion, I will withdraw my motion.
All right. Mr. Booker, would you like to withdraw your second?
I would.
All right.
So,
So-
one thing I'd like to say is that they did specify, if they separate what is specified in the, that's detailed in the proposal, and then remove those things because there seems to be some overlap. So just remove the overlap, and then it'll be a lot easier to read and see what's in them.
Okay, we will table
Is-
item H.
Is that
Actually, they've withdrawn it, so there's no motion. Just
Here we go.
dies. No, I don't want to consider, I don't want to propose a second vendor. That's more than $10,000 more. I think I'd like to take it back and skip and fix this and see.
That's what I would think.
All right, let's move on. Item I.
Well, I'll try again. I'm gonna make a motion to approve the replacement of Washington Township High School entry door.
Thank you, Mr. McFerrin. Mr. Booker,
I'll
would you
second
like a second?
Yeah,
Go
sure,
ahead.
I'll second.
Who's gonna second?
I'll
Mr.
second.
Booker.
In the original schematic, so which door were we talking about? Were we talking about one door or a double door?
Double door.
Double door that's the center.
No, it's not I don't think it's the center. I think it's the one that is connected on the far right.
So it's the one,
east door.
it's the one that the secured entry is gonna come through.
Yes, we are not touching the secured entry until after the new door is, put in. Because we are not paying them to do it twice.
I got a bunch of wood doors in my barn that we bought for the old double entry.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is deteriorated with the salts and there's gaps. You can see right through it.
Any additional questions? All right, here none, I'll call the vote, please. Raise your hand to approve the replacement of Washington Township High School entry door. Any nays? No nays, motion passes 6-0. All right, donation.
Next in front of you, we have a $5,000 donation to the Morgan Township Athletics by an anonymous donor that we are asking the board to approve.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
Oh,
Okay. Thank you, Mr. DeSweet. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, Mrs. McFalls. Comments, questions from the board? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. Please raise your hand to approve the anonymous donation of Morgan Township Athletic Department. Any nays? All right, motion passes 6-0. Worthington Steel donation.
So next in front of you, we are asking the board to approve a $1,000 donation from Worthington Steel towards the girls' high school basketball program at Washington Township.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All right, thank you, Mr. McFerrin.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. McFalls. Comments, questions from the board?
Is that based on $100 a win or what? Just kidding.
Anything additional? All right, here none, I'll call the vote. Please raise your hand to approve the Worthington Steel donation. Any nays? All right, motion passes 6-0. All right, board member discussion.
I just
just wanted to add my thanks for the years of service to Steve and Dan and Frank. It's been a pleasure serving with you and helping make East Porter County School Corporation a world-class organization, helping our students become even better.
I would ditto that. I want to say, I can safely say I care about everybody in this room. So, thank you so much.
I'll second that.
I guess I want to say the same thing. Frank's been around the longest of the three of you that are not going to be back, which will be different. I told Liz it's been a 5-2 men to women. Starting January, it's going to be a 5-2 women to men. Not that I've noticed or anything, but I know the heart of all three of you. I know the concern that you have for the schools. I hope you don't not continue to be participating in some way, because what you've done has been very valuable, in spite of the fact that we've had a lot of negative PR prior to this. I mean, from within, from people that really didn't have a very good understanding of how good of a school corporation this is. But I really appreciate, Frank, all the years you've spent, the times we've traveled together back and forth to different things. And Dan, it's only been one term. I hope you do come back in 2 years or sooner. And Steve, it's been a pleasure to serve with you. When you first came on, I didn't know you at all, and learned to know your integrity and your ability to lead. It's been good. You know, I sat in that chair for a lot of years. I don't miss that chair one bit, but I will miss the three of you a great deal.
Thanks.
You can say I was the best president ever.
Well, there's several ex-presidents.
Just want to make exactly what they said. Thank you, and I've been honored to serve with you guys. I've learned a lot, especially in the beginning. There's so much that is overwhelming, and you guys always stood and listened to my questions, answered my questions, and now coming to a point where the board will have changed, but I appreciate you so much. Everything you guys have done. Steve, I'll say, one of my favorite presidents. So I've really enjoyed, obviously.
The only one.
Yeah. No, I had Rick over there. He was wonderful.
Oh, yeah, so. yeah.
Absolutely, but as a vice president, I don't think I was vice president.
Right.
So yes, but I thank you for everything, your time. It's a lot of time, and you're right, Monday night's back. So I wish you all the best. Yes, and I do hope to see you guys continue. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll say, well, it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was never a burden, just a lot of fun. Great people to work with, and whenever you're helping kids, it's pretty easy, right? It's like coaching basketball, right, Kevin?
If you can all admit, you really want to root for Cal, it's okay.
I knew you when you were in another place.
Yeah, I remember those days too.
So it's been fun and stuff, and I'll be around. I'm not moving anywhere, so if I can help, I'll be glad to help. So just, you know my number. I may not answer, but you can call me.
All right, Dr. Case.
All right, in front of us, just a couple of recognitions. You know, we are extremely blessed in generosity. It is awesome, the fact that I get to bring this every month. And so I just want to recognize Debbie and Steve Zulik for a $350 donation towards the Couts Art Supplies, and then an anonymous donation of $344 in lieu to Couts Music. So, and you know, one of the biggest challenges, opportunities, and pleasures that a superintendent has is to work with 7 different board members. And the fun part is getting to know each and every individual and knowing what makes them tick and where their passions are and their excitements. And I will tell you, it has been an extreme joy for me to serve with this board. And that's something that, you know, I've been looking back as we get ready to embark on that. In my 11 years of sitting in central office, I've had some different experiences, and I can truly say this has been awesome. And you know, it's one of those, we've had opportunities to disagree. We have had opportunities to grow, you know, and that's something that I know some of you will take away, opportunities and passion. And the other part that has been awesome is through the conversations, through the dialogues, not just looking at what's best for East Porter, its students, but its staff and community. I am proud to say that I believe friendships have also developed. And that's something that when you can get a group of people together that have a common vision, even if there's differences are good, it's great. But it is true in my heart, I believe that all 7 had the same vision of what we wanted for East Porter County. And you do that and some great things happen. You can take those challenges. I know Mrs. Lesko talked about COVID. I'm not going to tell you COVID was easy. It was a challenge, but I also knew where the 7 people's thoughts and hearts and minds were. And doggone it, I think we kicked its tail. And we were able to do some things simply because, once again, all 7 people moving in the same direction for the same cause. Earlier, I gave the 3 of you a small token. It's just to please wear that proudly, because I know the time and the dedication and the just pure service that you all had to sacrifice in order to help East Porter. Steve's probably truly excited because he's like, yes, Case will now blow up my phone. Because he was the first call that I made before I touched base with all of them. But the part that I do appreciate is when I did call, every one of you took it and said, hey, what we got going on, how can I help? And that's the true part, that all 3 of you was, what can we do? How can I help you? What can we do better? So along with that little token that you can wear with pride, in mind of service, gratitude, I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
And you can proudly display these in your home, in your offices. And it's just a small momentum. And thank you for all you've done for East Porter.
Thank you.
2005 to 2024, good Lord. You had hair.
We said that, I didn't.
That's all right, Mr. Sweet, I am on my way. Just last thing I will say is thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for East Porter, our children, our staff, and from a personal, thank you for all you guys have done for me. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
You're here.
All right. Last time I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Mr. Martin.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. DeSpeaks. Anything else? This is it. Hearing none, I'll call the vote. Please raise your hand to adjourn. Any nays?
I've always wanted to do that.
Motion passes 5-0. Yes.
He has always wanted to do it. Yeah, for a long time. I'd like to take a picture of, I didn't have a picture of us. Oh, yes. Last meeting. Kim, would you do us the honor to take a picture of us?
We'd like to look at